Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is the third Thursday of July, so let's get cracking on Christmas together with Jen Shirkus. This month you're in for a treat because it's also Christmas in July, so there is a giveaway going on Instagram, well not one but multiple. I am giving away these 4 digital stamps illustrated by Rachelle Anne Miller. I also am grateful for her for giving me this opportunity to give this away. I love these 4 images and I'm going to feature one of them today called the Woodland Snowman. This is an adorable scene that I printed on Transotype perfect coloring paper. In case you're wondering about the supplies, definitely check out the description box. There I have everything listed. So I printed it on there and I'm going to color everything in using my Copic markers. As you can see, this is a tiny scene. I printed it, I made sure to die cut this panel using the basic rectangles from Mama Elephant. Any basic rectangle will do. It just created that perfect A2 sized panel for me. Now I'm going to color with my Copic markers. There are several combinations that I will be using today. If you are wondering later on what I used, there is always in my description box a link towards my blog post where you can find every combination for each item that I colored here. So that's easy for reference, but of course you can rewatch the video if you want to as well. So my coloring, if you are often here on my YouTube channel, you know that I color from darkest to lightest. Now there are many ways to color with your markers. Again, you do you. Have fun, enjoy while coloring. If you get that end result and had fun while coloring, I think you succeeded coloring your images or your stamps exactly how it should be. So for today's card, I am using kind of, the traditional Christmas colors. I'm also adding quite a lot of yellow in there. It all evolved a bit organically, this coloring. I knew that I wanted to use red here. Behind the lantern, I decided to go with a softer palette of the combination of the reds that I used, just to have it sort of different behind the gloss and not behind it. And then I'm just slowly building up this scene. I really love clean and simple cards. Creating a scene kind of card is already not as clean and simple as I would normally go. But having this scene prepped, I'm just going to color it, and I will keep this card as wide as possible. I'm not going to add tons on the background. If you want to, you can do some ink blending, copy coloring in the background, anything you want actually. You can mask your images and make sure that you have a spectacular background. Since it's a wintry scene and I'm going to leave the snowman kind of white with just a blue shadow idea, I just thought that just leaving the rest of the card white can also give it some sort of a winter snowy feel. So that's working for me. But again, tons of ways to create this card. It all depends on what you prefer, of course. So here I thought, well, just add a bit of that green onto the greenery. I also think you can leave it without any greens. But since I already had the green out for the little boy or girl there, it wasn't a big deal to add some greens to those trees as well. So really simple coloring, just really slowly actually, and I really love this scene, so I think later on I can still just print this out, just put myself in front of the TV. I already have some combinations that are working, so I can recreate this card if I want to. So here, as I said, the snowman will get like a really soft blue color, a bit of shadowing behind our little person here, and then some flicking from the right side, so that I get some sort of centered light source here. That's why the boy or the girl, it can be both, I think, so that there we have the shadowing on the left side, the items on the right side will get the shadows on the right side. So really simple, just some flicking, and then with my colorless blender fading those edges a bit more out, so that it really goes from blue to white. For the bunny, as for our little human here, shadowing on the left side and just working my way through my lightest marker. So about the giveaway, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm giving away 4 digital stamps sponsored by Rachelle Anne Miller, the illustrator of this set and the 4 others, and I just love her designs. They are digital, so you can print them. If you have no experience with digital stamps, it's a way to test it out. You will have tons. If you already know them, if you're already using them, then you will be spoiled by them. You can print them the size you want. You can do some no-line coloring or with lines like this one. Anything goes actually. If you have some sort of tablet or iPad, you can maybe color it digitally if you have the programs for that. Really tons of possibilities. And then the other giveaways by the other people that are joining the Get Cracking on Christmas this month will be completely different. So you will have so many possible giveaways to win. I think that will be a lot of fun, as well as tons of inspiration that will be shared. For my giveaway, as it's from Rachelle Anne Miller, I also think it's really useful to follow Rachelle Anne Miller herself on Instagram, because there you have tons of inspiration again by the whole design team, but also by Rachelle, because she also colors her own images digitally, and she has this amazing style. You will just adore it. If you're not following yet, definitely do so, because you will get inspired also for other stamps that you might have. Maybe you can incorporate some ideas that you see over there on your cards or projects. It's really a ton of fun there. Okay, so here I decided to add a bit of yellow to the birds. It's just the color that works the best for me. And then originally I wanted to keep the hat, the band, and then the fluffy area of the hat. I don't know how it's called, but I wanted to keep it white, but then I saw that the scarf had the same speckles as the hat, so I decided to color that area in. And to not overdo it with tons of colors, I decided to use that same yellow as I did on the birds. So actually it turned out to be a really festive and bright combination on this scene, and I really love how it turned out. Now for the accessories of this snowman, as you can see, I'm using the same reds as I did on the clothing of our person here. Just making sure that I'm doing the shadowing, as I said, on the right side, since it is positioned there, and that gives me that centered light source. So normally whenever I'm coloring with Copics on this paper, I tend to add 2 layers, but in case it's really small and the transition went really well immediately, like on the scarf, I tend to just add 1 layer. It depends a bit on the size. From time to time I also need more than 2 layers. You just keep building until you're happy. Just make sure that if your paper is acting a bit oversaturated, that you let it dry, or you use your heat gun, so that you can again add more moist if you need to. So here, as I said, that yellow combination, which made it really bright and festive, I think. It's a really colorful scene thanks to the yellow. Also using that yellow on the snowman here, just tiny details, but everything comes back. All the colors are returning, and that's something that I really love doing. So here and there I have some tiny mistakes. I fixed that with my colorless blender. You can always heat set that as well to let it dry even more quick than normal. And then it was time to figure out the sentiment. I first wanted to only add Christmas in a way, so I took this Oliver Alpha die set from Hello Bluebird, and I took the Xmas. Seeing it like this, I really loved it. So I took my purple tape, and I was going to align the Xmas using my craft mat. And then I will add a purple tape on top, lift it up, and have it straight. And then I could just adhere it all at once on this panel. Now somehow taking my T-square ruler and adding the Christmas on top of the panel, I sort of positioned it a bit too low in my opinion. I don't know how. When I originally laid it down, I thought it was just fine having just this word but then hearing it, I was like, this is really empty, which is not necessarily a bad thing. If you love clean and simple, empty is somehow the end result. But here it was just a bit off. So I decided to look in my stamps and see whether I had a stamp set that I could add a secondary greeting from on top of this card. And I found this typed Christmas stamp set from Hello Bluebird as well. And there is this lovely sentiment that is saying it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Now I already had Xmas on my card, so I didn't need the Christmas to repeat itself. So I decided to add the sentiment, but part of it. So I'm going to mask off Christmas so that I'm not repeating, and then I have this gorgeous sentiment on top of my panel. Now normally if I would do a secondary greeting and adhering things, I would first stamp out my sentiment just to make sure that I'm not ruining anything. But in this case it was really a last minute thing that I decided to add to just make it look alright. So here with some purple tape I just masked off Christmas, could stamp it out. I'm stamping it multiple times to get a good impression. I love how a typed sentiment looks. Just for that I want a typewriter, and I want from Memory Keepers. I think they have one that I really adore, like a pastel one. It's really expensive for just sentiments for on my cards, but it's something I really love seeing, so I will just save up some money and one day I will give myself a typewriter for really stupid things like just a sentiment instead of really using it all the way as it is intended for. But I mean, how gorgeous is this sentiment? So I adhered the panel on top of a card base, really simple. You can add embellishments if you want to. I tried it, I didn't like it, or not the one that I took and tested. So I just decided to add a few Stickles here and there and then some glossy accents. And that will be my card for today for this Get Cracking on Christmas in July. So don't forget there is a giveaway. You can you can win on my Instagram account 4 digital stamps. This one is included, so if you enjoyed this video, definitely try to enter on Instagram. I truly had a lot of fun coloring this. And don't forget to check out all of the other inspiration for the Get Cracking on Christmas, all of the other giveaways. You might see something that you really like, and you never know. Maybe you're lucky and you're the winner of that specific giveaway. So I want to thank you all for stopping by and taking time to watch this video. I truly appreciate you all being here. You guys are amazing. I want to wish you all an incredible day, and I'll be back soon with some new crafty inspiration. Bye!